Over these last 5 years, I've done a lot of trading mistakes, but also I've been able to profit multiple six figures from the market. But it wasn't always like this. I started off when I was working 2 jobs and doing university and learning to trade. And I was unprofitable for over 2 years. Then I was in my break-even phase for a long time too. We're talking like around 1 year of break-even, of great trades followed by drawdown, great trades followed by drawdown. And I never knew what is going on. Is it my psychology? Is it my strategy? What is it? I don't know. And so in this video, I want to talk about all of the points that have really helped me as a trader to become profitable, break through the break-even stage, and even go from an unprofitable trader that was working 2 jobs and doing university to dropping out of university. By the way, I was still unprofitable when I quit university, to now being a full-time trader for the last 3 years. So let's break everything down, and believe me that some of these tips have completely changed my trading forever. Now, in my first years of trading, I always thought I have to be right in the market. I have to know where the market is going. I have to be able to forecast and execute in the direction of the market. And that is the biggest tip that I can give to 99% of traders watching right now. And you can leave this video after this one and it's already going to completely change your trading. But there's few more that are really good. So the first tip is you don't have to be right. You don't need to have a direction on a specific day in the market. You don't need to have a specific direction on a particular week of the market, because this is what would happen. Every time that the market was trending, not only was I trying to forecast when the market is going to reverse and the market would continue moving in the direction of the higher time frame and I was completely getting caught out, but also I always thought if there is a pullback, I need to forecast it. If the market is going to continue, I need to forecast it. If the market is going to range, I need to forecast it. I need to do all of these things to become a profitable trader. But what I've understood now as a full-time trader is that a lot of your days are going to be based off I don't know. Where is $0 going to go today? Well, I don't know. When is Bitcoin going to pull back? I don't know. When is Nasdaq going to drop 10%? I don't know. Because the only thing that you have to do as a trader is forecast where the next day is going to go. And if it's not obvious where the market is going to go, then it's better for you not to trade it. I've done multiple videos on daily bias and I've always explained this concept, and it's so important for traders to understand, which is if the daily is not looking clear, I don't trade. For example, right now, the daily is bearish on $0. Now it's pulling back and it's ranging. A student of mine asked me, where do you think the market is going to go? I said, I don't know. Maybe it's going to go lower. Maybe it's going to go higher. I don't know. Right? And for some traders, the I don't know is like, no, I have to know. I'm a full-time trader, or I'm a trader. If I'm a trader, I have to know where the market is going. I have to. When in reality, I don't know is the most powerful statement that 50 to 90% of the times you can tell yourself as a trader. Because then there are going to be times where it's very high probability that the market is going to move in certain direction, and that's when you execute. And I have a story about this which is actually really important, which is in my second year, I was constantly in this break-even stage. I would enter in a couple of winners, but then I would have a couple of losers and I would give all of my profit back, and I would see the market ranging. And my mentor, which I always paid for, was not taking any trades. And it was like my second losing streak in a month. And I was like, listen, I've been in this losing streak. I don't know what is going on. I think $0 is going to move higher. Where do you think $0 is going to move? I asked my mentor and he said, I don't know. And I thought to myself, what do you mean I don't know? Why am I paying you if you don't know where the market is going? And I had to wait a little bit, and then he answered with basically this. Kimmel, the reason why you are entering in multiple losing streaks is because you always want to know when the market is going to move and where it is going to move. When for me, as a trader, the only thing that I focus on is executing when it's high probability of the market moving. And that comes from daily confirmations. And a whole new world opened up to me because I finally understood what I don't know really means. It simply means I don't want to participate in this market. And that's fine because that is a position in of itself. That was the biggest game changer, literally, that brought me from a break-even trader to a profitable trader. And I really, really recommend you doing the same. That's why this is tip number 1. Before going on to the next one, I'd just like to ask for you to subscribe and like the video. I would really appreciate it. It would really going to help. And let's go on to the next one. Now, tip number 2 is increasing your time frames. And that might sound weird to you because you're going to be like, well, the 15-minute doesn't have enough of a risk to reward. The 1 hour doesn't have enough of a risk to reward. The 4 hour doesn't have enough of a risk to reward. And I came to the conclusion that a lot of the unprofitable traders that I talk to and a lot of the traders that are very, very pissed off with their trading results, they usually trade low time frames. We're talking 1 minute, we're talking 5 minutes. Right? And that is the biggest reason as to why traders fail. It's because the 1 minute and the 5 minute, yes, they are going to be great. They are going to give you extreme sniper entries, but they are going to give you too many entries. They're going to give you too many signals. They are going to make you feel as if you know where the market is moving constantly. And that is not the case, especially if you are an unprofitable or break-even trader. If you have not proven to yourself that you can trade these lower time frames very consistently, the best thing you can do is go onto the 15-minute, the 1 hour, and even the 4 hour time frame and trade those. For example, for me, every time I enter in a losing streak, when I'm entering on the 5-minute chart, the one thing that I do instantly is that the next trade is going to be taken on the 15-minute. And then if I take another loss, the next trade is going to be taken on the 1 hour. Why? Because if the 1 hour is bearish, very likely the 15-minute is also bearish. The 5-minute is also bearish. While when the 5-minute is bearish, does not mean that the 15-minute, the 1 hour, and the 4 hour are bearish, right? So the lower time frames give you so many false signals, and I really do believe that that is one of the biggest tips that I can give you as a trader to become profitable. Because for me, increasing the time frame is what took me from a break-even trader to a profitable trader, right? So not only was it the knowing when not to trade, but also increasing the time frame that I was executing on, because then those two played in line. Because if I'm constantly waiting for the 1 hour to shift, that means that maybe for a day or two I am not going to execute. So if you are an unprofitable trader, let me ask you, what time frame do you enter on? And if your answer is 1 minute or 5 minutes, understand that if I was to talk to you one-on-one, that is the number one thing that I would tell you to change. And the final point that I'm going to tell you, which is later on in this video, is going to tie these very well together. But first, I need to talk about 2 different things that completely changed my trading forever, that I've always done since the beginning. And in the middle part, when I stopped doing it, that's when I was still a break-even trader. So number 1 was journaling. Why? Because if you don't understand the mistakes that you are doing, there is no way for you to rectify it, right? Why do you think that dancers, basketball players, surfers, any high-performing athlete always looks back into their performance through recordings? It's because they know that when they are reviewing it, they are distanced from what actually has happened before, which means they have no emotional connections with it, which means that they will be able to unbiasedly look at everything that happened. And as a trader, this is crucial because if you are constantly asking yourself if a trade is good or not in the heat of the moment, you will always say that a losing trade was bad and that a winning trade was good. And I'm telling you this from personal experience. I know that on the weekends I have to do my journaling, because like that I will be able to review my trades, I will be able to review my performance and ask myself, what are the mistakes that I keep on doing? Why is it that I'm taking 3 losses in a row? What is going on when I enter in 5 wins in a row? What are my actions when I start entering and losing trades? Because this is where I understood that I need to increase my time frame. I was constantly entering on the 1 minute. I was constantly entering on the 5 minute, and I kept on having losing streaks, and I was like, what is going on? And that's when in my journaling, my winning trades, no joke, my winning trades were coming from the 15-minute and the 1 hour. And my losing trades, like 80% of my losing trades, were coming from the 1 minute and the 5 minute. And I was like, what am I doing still on the 1 minute and on the 5 minute? It doesn't make any sense. right? So I cut those basically completely, and all of a sudden my trading changed forever. But that would not happen without journaling and reviewing. So it's very important for you to have a trading journal. Doesn't matter if it's TradeZella, which is linked in the description, but it can also be something free, something like Google Spreadsheets, which is completely free. That can be your trading journal as long as you have a reference for all of the confluences. Why did you enter? What time frame did you enter? What session did you enter? What was the profit and the loss? What was the screenshot before, screenshot after, right? Because like that, on the weekend, when you have no emotions attached to the trades that you've taken, you can review them unbiasedly and see the mistakes that you were making. So journaling was one of the biggest game changer in my trading, which takes me to my next point, which is risk management. We've heard about this multiple times, and I sprinkled this in this video, which is increasing the time frame was a lot of the risk management that I did. What do I mean by that? I've told this to the people inside of the Simple Trading Edge. As soon as I enter in a losing streak, which can be 2 trades, no joke, 2 trades losing, and I will start implementing this that I'm about to tell you. I increase the time frame because that reduces the number of trades that I take and increases the probability of the trades that I'm taking, which is based off of a concept that I came up with that I believe is extremely important in our trading, which is the trading trifecta. And that is that your results are very much going to be based between risk to reward, trade frequency, and strike rate. What I mean by that is that if you want to increase your strike rate, you have to reduce your risk to reward and you have to reduce your trade frequency, which means you're going to be looking for higher probability trades. Let me ask you, if you want the highest probability trade ever, is that going to happen every single day? No. So again, that is complete proof that you are reducing your trade frequency. Or if you want to increase your trade frequency, you are likely going to take more losses because, for example, you're going to start entering in range-bound markets, which means you're going to be reducing your strike rate. Or why do you think that so many smart money concept traders take partials at 1 to 3R? Because they know that if they're constantly holding for 1 to 10, that their strike rate is going to go way down. And so I understood this concept and it completely changed my trading because my risk management now is not only based on the percentage of the risk that I take, which, by the way, if I know that I'm entering in lower probability conditions or if I'm entering in a lower probability trade, then I'm reducing my risk by 0.5%. But as I said, if I start entering in a losing streak, I stop, I increase the time frame, and I wait for better trades. And that's one of the biggest things that happened to me because the unprofitable traders, they do the exact opposite. They enter in a losing streak. No, I gotta get out of this losing streak ASAP. Let me go to the lower time frame. Let me enter in as many trades as possible because I want to get out of this, right? And then they just keep on losing and they give everything back. So that is one of the most important tips I can give you. And then last but not least, I want to talk to you about boom and bust, which is based on comparison. You know, you are going to compare yourself, right? You are going to compare yourself. There's no questions about it. But what you need to understand is that every time you compare yourself, afterwards you need to say, yeah, but that is not my journey. And the reason I say this is because one of my darkest moments last year in 2022 was when I met a lot of traders that were making a lot of money from trading. And I was consistently making $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 from trading every single month. But these traders were getting 10K payouts, 20K payouts. And I was like, man, my average payout is like $3,000, $4,000. And once I got home, the thing that I started doing was I started doing what they said. Risk more. Oh, you have to risk more because that's not how it worked, blah, blah, blah. And I started risking more. All of a sudden, no joke, 1 week after, I lose my first funded account. And then 2 weeks after, I lose a 200K funded account. And I was like, why am I even doing this? Their journey is not my journey. Why am I doing this? Right? And so the final tip that I want to give you is that you are going to compare yourself, but I always, at the end of the comparison, or once you start seeing profits and you think, oh, this is not good enough, I want you to look at your picture. How many people right now in trading are running hundreds of thousands of dollars in profit or even tens of thousands of dollars in profit, but they've never seen tens of thousands of dollars in their life, and they're not going to take profits and they are going to bust. And that is the problem, is that when we start comparing, oh, I only made $10,000, but this person made $200,000. It's good because it's going to give you the drive to continue growing, but at the same time, it's going to put you in a very bad mindset that is going to put you in a rut and not the people that you are looking up to. Because back then, when I was doing $8,000 a month consistently from trading, that was great, right? My expenses were around $1,000 a month. That was 8 times my expenses every single month. And all of a sudden, I went back home and I started losing the opportunity to make more money. That means losing more funded accounts. And so I had to take a step back and understand, okay, this person told me this. His life is completely different to mine. $8,000 for me is great. Yes, there is more to come and I will achieve more, but I need to take it step by step. So this is the last tip. Yes, you are going to compare yourself. I'm not going to give the tip, oh, don't compare yourself, because that is going to happen. I just need you to, every time you compare yourself and every time you see yourself getting greedy, ask yourself, what difference is this going to make in my life right now? Not someone else's life, my life. Because at the end of the day, you are the only person that is here for you. You are the only person that is going to put money in your pocket. If you are in a deep financial rut, is going to be affected. So I hope everyone enjoyed. I hope you were able to take some value from this. Please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.